let me show you something that really, really scared me. Alaska is warming so quickly that weather algorithms can't keep up. So they explain in this article that scientists have come up with a way to determine what's an outlier and a bullshit number versus what's a real number when it comes to temperatures in the Arctic. And so, for example, there can be mistakes. Like they could put the weather sensors in a place where it's too exposed to the sun and it affects the temperature. It affects how warm it is. They can put the sensor in a wooden box and that affects it versus putting it in a metal box. They can record the temperature at the wrong time of day and then you fuck up the records because it's supposed to be taken at the same time every day. So there's a bunch of ways in which when tracking the temperature can be messed up. And all those little differences matter because you're not going to get a perfectly clear picture if it's not taken in a consistent way. So the scientists came up with an algorithm. Hey, this is how we know when to dismiss the different temperatures. Here's the problem. It's warming so quickly that the weather algorithms rejected all the data. Think about that. That is fucking terrifying. This is in the northern part of Alaska, I think. And they were like, no, you don't get it. It dismissed all of the data because it was like, no, this is all not true. Something has to be wrong because of how warm it is. There was a story the other week about how during that cold snap in the U.S., Florida was colder than the Arctic. Okay, that's just one weather event for one day, so you can't pound the gavel on that. What matters is climate. So weather over an extended period of time. You put all the individual weather events, put them together, and get the macro picture with climate. But when you do that, it's worse. It rejected all the fucking data. Now, thankfully, they still had it stored manually, and so they put the data back in and said, no, this is the right data. And it shows that October, November, and December in particular were 7.8 degrees Fahrenheit warmer than they were from 1979 to 1999. And then the other 9 months of the year were 1.9 degrees Fahrenheit warmer, which is 7.8 is so fucking ridiculous. The algorithm was like, must be wrong, reject it. But even 1.9 is like, whoa, what the fuck? So this is bad. Just another quick little anecdotal story that I want to show you because I think this illustrates a point clearly. It's so hot in Australia that bats' brains are frying in their heads. Now, again, any individual weather event is not the same as the climate. Any individual day, it means nothing, honestly. What matters is the trend. What matters is the macro picture. What matters is the climate when you put all the weather events together. And of course, when you put all the weather events together, it's no better. You have, 3 of the warmest years on record were in the past 5 years. You have the trends going in that direction. You also have the increased extreme weather events on both ends of the spectrum, which is another part of climate change that scientists have been saying is going to happen for a while. And what's happening is it keeps showing that it's worse than the worst case scenario every time scientists go to look at the data. So it's time to be afraid because climate change is not something that's happening off in the future. It's happening right the fuck now. So we have to get off fossil fuels. Tulsi Gabbard proposed a great bill about that. I think it's called the OFF Act or something, where you get off of fossil fuels by 2035, totally green, renewable economy. And look, you could have so many jobs tied to that industry. We could do a new deal, rebuild our infrastructure, and along with that is new kinds of energy. Along with that is wind and solar and geothermal and whatever kinds that scientists say is the best, and we can create millions of jobs in the process. So we can look at this as an opportunity. But as of right now, as we're dragging our feet, this is an absolute nightmare scenario.